go. My duckies all in a row. I cannot. No ducks in a row in this house, that's for sure. So, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me. I'm Mary June Tracy, psychic medium, spiritual love of life coach. I wrote that on my banner that I have on my Facebook, and a few people have mentioned, oh, that's so cool, spiritual love of life coach. Do you know I've been calling myself a spiritual love of life coach for like 10 years or more? And just it was a name that came to me through Andy Dooley. And Andy Dooley, I just love Andy Dooley. And he's a humorous spiritual person, very funny. And when I had a one-on-one call with him back in the day, when before Zoom and all of that kind of stuff, we did, um, I did uh, a workshop with him, and it was online by phone call, by telephone. Oh, anyways, and we got to have a one-on-one with him. That's how I met some of my friends from Georgia and stuff too, in Atlanta. Atlanta is in Georgia, but in Nashville, I should say. So anyways, I had a one-on-one, and I used to call myself the Rock and Reiki Master. Because it says make it fun, because I had a tent at the time, and my tent was set up in my house. And this tent, it was an outside canopy tent, and it fit right into the formal living room in this house that we used to live in the Northeast. And this tent was another world. Just it was another world. When people went into this tent, they could feel as soon as you entered into it, it wasn't it wasn't like anything else. We could close the curtains down. I had had a couch in my office and everything that was in there. I could do healings in there and all kinds of things. It was absolutely fabulous. Anyways, and I explained that to him, and he goes, "You got a tent in your house." But long story short, what he wanted to when he said is like, make things, he goes, "No, make yourself the expert of something that you love. Make yourself know that, because if you know something and you've been doing it, you're an expert." And I said, "Well, I love my love. I love my life." And and I love, talking about, having people get excited about their life. And so that's how it came about. Spiritual love of life coach, because I'm a spiritualist and I love life and I love to coach people. And I love to put that out there with my astrology. I think those two are the first two loves that I have. The psychic medium is just it. It just comes in with whatever I do. Being a psychic medium is I'm a psychic medium. It is like it's in my DNA. I can't it's like my hair. It's in my DNA. Can't do much about it. It's just there. So stepping into being a spiritual love of life coach, and that's one of the things is it's evolving, it changes because life changes. Sometimes the things you love change. And one of the things when I was doing looking at the astrology and everything that happened this weekend, my husband's brother passed away suddenly. They didn't know he was sick. um they're not sure. There's an autopsy being done, stuff. He would have been 70, I believe, next month in December 18th. He would have been 70. He was a Sag. Pulled up his chart, because that's what I do. Like, when was he born? Da, 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 da. Nobody knows what time, but pulled up his chart, took a look at it, and I just like, oh, okay, I can see things started happening to him when Venus was in retrograde in Leo. And I could see how the connections were with him being sick, with looking basically at his chart. And understanding that, plus it's my husband's birthday today. So yay, Steve, it's his birthday. My hubby, my man, is a right old age, or right young age of 68 today. This is it hit him hard. I mean, it hit the whole family hard with everything, with him passing away. And I really, of course, it got me to thinking of, things in our life, and My kids came over Saturday night, I think, or Friday. Yeah, it was Saturday night. And they came over and we chatted and talked and stuff like that. And it was really beautiful that they came over. As we were chatting and stuff, just reminiscing a lot about our lives and that. Of course, what did my daughter asked me, sometimes she acts like my sister. My daughter asks me, how, like it's important for us to know what you want when you die. And of course, my husband leaves the room because he doesn't talk about shit like that. That's just his generation, his age. They don't really talk about something like that, even though it has to be talked about. And this just coincidence that happened. So anyways, they all know what I want, but Olivia keeps telling me it's illegal. So it's illegal to put me out in the middle of the lake and blow me up with fireworks. That's illegal. I don't know why, but I can't have a Viking funeral. And then everybody just party on the beach. So, and of course, I must be, if I'm going to die, it has to be sometime in the summertime so everybody can party on the beach, right? And have a good time. So she likes to ask those, she wants to ask those questions. She wants to know. She wants to know, well, what do you want for your funeral? I said, have fun, party, don't cry, enjoy, embrace your life, embrace what you're doing. That's what I want when I die. Here, it's videotaped now. I don't want to be cremated in an oven other people have been cremated in. 'Cause I don't want to go there. There's other people's cooties. How do you know you're going to get the right stuff, right? At least if you blow me up in the middle of the lake, there's no denying she's everywhere now. And then fireworks, I mean, that I think would just be phenomenal. Or just have a big party. So I said, as long as I'm not kept in a closet somewhere. Don't stuff an urn in a closet and get passed around from child to child. I'll for sure come out and fucking haunt you then, and you'll be wondering why the urn keeps falling off the top shelf or something. Um, these they are important questions. And the thing is, the one thing being when having funerals, like I think my kids have been to more funerals than I have, is one, I hate the music. Don't play no stupid ass little crappy music. No, I want something upbeat. I want the tempo. I want dancing down the aisle. you know, I want singing. I want to have a good time. You know, and I think that's part of my Irish bringing, because when we would go to, it was basically my uncles because they're old, very old, when they passed away and stuff. It was, you celebrated, like there was the family all came together and there was a celebration. uh Back in the day, the body was left in state in the house, with an open casket, but you got to say your goodbyes. You got to, do what you needed to do, and allow yourself to say those goodbyes. And I think that is important. It is important in some ways. I mean, unfortunately, we are unable to get to New York to go to the funeral, but to say the goodbyes. So you have to do it in your own special, unique way for whomever that person is. Being a medium, they don't care if you're there or not. At least the ones that I've always been connected with, it wasn't a big deal that you didn't show up at the funeral. It was a big deal because you didn't show up. That's your issue. That's not the dead person's issue. Because they're dead. That's it. They're dead. They're gone to another place. And it's not, they're not concerned that they're just, they're dead. How else can I say that? That's for you to come to terms within your own self, and how you come to terms with it. And that's the important piece. How are you coming to terms with that death, with that passing? um there's very, sometimes with people who've passed, yeah, I've seen them go into the darkness, and that's because there's things that they've done in their life that they have to review, or there's remorse, or there's something there that has to be worked through, within that transformation period time. And I, the length of time, I don't know. I don't keep those records. I don't have. I'm not in charge of that. So, but it's a time of celebration, and that's the whole thing. So there's a common understanding that with life there's death, and I think that's the one thing within the Irish tradition. And it's funny because I listen to BBC One on my when I'm driving. Of course, I listen to BBC, right? And they were talking about an Irish wake today as we were driving. It was quite hilarious. Um, Steve's brother dies, and here comes on BBC. They're talking about an Irish wake, but it was talking about within that how people don't have sort of the as deep a remorse about the death, and sort of that missing piece of wanting or yearning of that person to still be there. And that's one thing for me, even being a medium and a spiritualist, and it really, that's one part that I don't understand, with when people have a yearning to still have that person there. That I don't get it, because when I see the transition from life to death, it's a transition of beautiful, that person's beautiful light, evanescent light, evolving and transitioning to another place. And seeing that energy evolve, I think is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And that they're going on to another journey, and embracing and having them to embrace that new journey that they are partaking in. I think that's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful thing. And I think what I see, or what I understand when it comes to death, when people mourn for so long, or they is because there's a lot of unresolved issues between that person and the person who died. Things that weren't resolved within this lifetime that still needed to be resolved. And it's because humans are selfish and they don't want to let go of their family. Well, yeah, and I think that's wrong. I do. That's my own I just think that's absolutely wrong. And I think that holds them back on their journey on this lifetime. And where I've seen with families where they don't move on at all, and it's years. And then finally it's like, it's so sad. It is so sad, you know, or they couldn't leave their mother or their father, they had to stay there because their partner died. Well, there's so many different and then I have to go back, and with the karmic ties, and going into the karmic ties and what those karmic ties are, and that leads you to the Akashic records, and the ties that you have come into, and that you were written. And some of those ties, when you go into the records, when you go into doing any of that work, it's that you find out that you made that tie. You made that tie. You decided to hang on to that tie. That person, who's gone forward and gone on and gone, they made the choice and said, I'm dying on such and such. This is when I'm done, kind of thing. Um, Yet there is other ties that come in and say that, well, you still have to go on and live your life, but it's through your own ego, and as Charlene just said, it's your own selfishness, human selfishness, that have brought you to stay in that spot where you don't have to stay. There's But you're afraid to let go, because now you're afraid to let go of the other human beings within your family, because of, well, my God, what happens if they die and I'm not here? Or and that's sort of a subconscious thought within inside yourself. And that is something that you have created and made up, like created, and sort of it's like all I saw is like this magical book appear, and then it's kind of written in there. You just wrote it into your into your earth walk, and only you can untie that. Like, you didn't come in predestined for certain things. Yes, it was predestined, but certain things on how you um took them, or how you allowed them to play out, that was on you. That wasn't on anybody else. That was on you. So I feel like, when it comes to death and that part, it's a beautiful transition. It's not it's a transition that is, when there's life, there's death. It is hard. It is, yes, definitely in those first few days and months, it's very difficult, in letting that person go. I understand Caribbeans mourn totally different than the Irish too. I mean, we went over to Lister's house, and yeah, it was, my husband's not very good with people crying or sick. 2 things. If you're crying or sick, don't be around my husband, because he'll tell you to stop. It's like when Owen was having, um, an allergic reaction, he had to leave the room and told him to stop having the reaction. And he just got laugh. "You can't stop this, dear." But he doesn't know how to take it, right? That's just part of it. So his sister started to cry because Rupert's passed away. So she started to cry. And he got up, he goes, Girl, why are you crying? Stop that now. He's dead." And he walked out to the room. And his nieces just sort of looked at me, and I went, "That's your Uncle Steve." And she goes, "Yeah." You know, but that's just, they just take it so differently. Their mourning process is so different than, for me, it's a like, let's get together and get fucking drunk. you know, let's enjoy, reminisce, tell stories. That's, to me, is the beautiful part. Yeah, through those stories, through the laughter, through the tears, there could become laughter. And through that laughter, there's healing. Laughter is healing. And I feel there's so much in this right now that people are forgetting that. They're forgetting how to laugh. They're forgetting, when somebody tells a crass joke, just to laugh at it and not take fucking offense. I think more people want to take offense over offense. How offended can you be? Well, I can be more offended than you can. Huh? Look at the sticks are farther up my ass than yours. So ha ha ha. You're just like, oh my God. But that is, with everything that is unfolding in our world right now and today, death is inevitable. It is. And we are coming into a time and an age where death will be more around us than ever before. And it's learning how to embrace that, learning how to embrace the transition of it, and allowing yourself not only to mourn it, to grieve it, but to release it and embrace it and find some laughter, the laughter and the joy that that person brought upon their earth walk. What is the laughter and joy that they embraced upon you on this earth walk, which can be sometimes very hard to look at, or you don't want to see it, because you just would rather stay in the wallowing instead of embracing something that is opening up to you, another earth walk, an earth walk without that person being upon it. So the pathway is going to change. It's going to look different. It's going to feel different. And it's going to feel very, sometimes, empty. The emptiness will be there. But that's where you can go back and you can see the beauty. You can see and you can feel the joy and the laughter they brought. And I think that's the most important thing when you are embracing a death within your family or friend, or whomever, or you're seeing the masses of deaths that are happening now, and you're just like, oh my God. But I also look like there's There's a reason. There's always a reason. And sometimes we don't understand that reason. And that reason can be so difficult because there is no explanation to it. And sometimes we just have to allow it to be, and just to be the way it is. And that's all we can do. And and with that, on that note, I mean, I was really looking at a lot of the energies that were coming in this weekend because I've been going through my own um sort of mourning of releasing and didn't realize that, you don't realize you're doing this until you've gone through it and you're like, holy shit, I was just doing that. Fuck. you know and from when that transition from the summer solstice of when, just before I lost my job, and I was doing a mantra at the time, and doing that mantra was, to bring in transition and change, and allowing and embracing and releasing the old. And I was doing that mantra, and within 9 days, that's when things happened. And then I did a ritual, or I went to a goddess thing for the summer solstice, and it was beautiful. And I'm realizing that we're entering into, because the moon will be, or the sun is going into Sagittarius, so we're going to be coming into Sag time. It's going to feel off. It's going to feel weird. And as we are, we're transitioning into that of the winter solstice. So between the summer solstice and the winter solstice, I was going through quite a few of transitions and changes within my own self. And within that, and within those transformation and changes, just taking a look at where the energies are right now, it is letting go of the old. And here I was trying to resurrect a lot of the old stuff that I used to, I used to do this. I used to, and this is like, everywhere I turned to go do it was a no, no, no. Spirit's going, no, yeah, but you got to do something like that, but kind of like that. Those are the informations, I was getting. And I've been doing a lot of work with the Akashic records, and I've been doing that for a few months now, and doing a prayer in the morning, and accessing and gaining knowledge. A lot of creativity, crazy little short stories are coming out. Which are quite hilarious. Um, but finding where it feels like things are falling apart, and especially with Saturn going forward, and Pluto wants to have, you want structure, I want to have it like this, and it's saying no, you can't. You got to try and do it differently. And this is, you got to find some peace in that, because it's very spiritually, and it can be very confusing. And with coming through this, and then of course Mars, is with the sun, and of course it's conjunct in my Venus, and it's conjunct in my Mars. So I got a sun, Mars, Venus, and my Venus and Mars are conjuncting the sun and Mars. And I'm okay when the sun conjuncts it and does that every year. I'm okay. But when Mars is there, it amplifies shit. And of course, it's squaring off to everything that's in Aquarius, which I already have my Saturn there in Aquarius. So let's just square it all off. So we have a lot of frustration. And it's things aren't not, the information not coming fast enough, or solutions are not happening, and that can bring in more frustration, because you want things to happen now. And Mercury is lost. He's in Sag, and he's lost. He doesn't know where he's going, trying to get the information, trying to, get things, and doesn't understand where things are going. And it has to be open to things and be positive, and that's the hard part, being open and positive to things. And then life throws you curveballs, like, they throw you a curveball where, oh, bang, your brother, my brother-in-law's passed away. Oh yeah, Steve's birthday. Oh shit. Okay. We got, trying, wanting to do something really special for him on this day. This is where, and you're finding like other things aren't coming together, because you really want to do something special, and it's just like, oh, can't do that. Things aren't aligning for that right now. This is where it does, like, you don't understand, do not understand where things are going. And that's where you have to be open and open to the things and be positive. You got to open to that spiritual guidance. And sometimes that spiritual, like you're trying to make things, you're trying to like, I want this, this, and this to be like this. And that's what I've been finding. It's like, trying to do the meditation on Saturday. Now, I've done meditations. I've had people show up. I had one person show up. Love that. I love Andrea. Andrea and I had a great conversation and then did a meditation. It was a great visit. But this is where it's like things aren't going to be the way that you want them to be. It's not going to be in that transition the way that you want it to be, and you're beating your ass, and you might be feeling lost. That we all have to roll through these situations, and that hold us, and that we want to demand to the universe it has to be this way, and it's not. It's a re-identification and where our power is, and not connecting with what no longer aligns. And I'm like, oh my God, but I start in, and then I'm starting to think, and I, did my meditation this morning, and it's like, okay, there's a lot of things that are changing. There's a lot of things that you're going to be reconnecting with, and a lot of things that are not. The basic core of a spiritual love of life coach, as I was explaining before, is who I am, an astrologer. Those are my core. The psychic medium is just in my DNA. It just is. It just pops out. But I have to have faith. And this is a replanting in my life. So I feel like now entering into the darkness, going into the darkness, which is what happens as we are entering into this Sag energy, this transformational energy. We're coming into the end of fall and going into the darkness of winter. And that is when the sunlight slowly comes out. So the darkness, of course, yes, we're in very much 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. We've all seen the memes. 5 o'clock. Oh, lights. Oh, it's dark. It's that transformation that we're going through, and we're all doing it, and it's frustrating. But the frustration and the hesitation, and it's receiving the no's. It's being able to receive the no's, and that's what I've been receiving is no. But of course, me being me, well, I will go do it anyways. Well, there's going to be a wall. It's not going to work, and that's where I got where I want to do. Funny you said that about coming to the Sag energy. Then we had a power surge. This is the changes, right? The sun will be in Sag, and then on the 22nd, and then Mars will follow. And this is finding the direction. And the moon in Pisces is, you want more serious. We're really trying to find that direction. Our boat's sort of like which way do we go? Which way do we go? Whoa. And then every time you're going towards nope, sorry, it's closed. Nope, sorry, it's closed. Nope, sorry, it's closed. So you're still sitting there wondering, what do you really want to do? And Mercury's out of bounds. Mercury's not going to give you the answer. So the information that you are wanting, or you're trying to facilitate with inside yourself, and trying to get the structures that you want, because you want it to be Pluto and Sag is like structures. We want it together. We want it like this, but it's not happening. And it's not going the way we want it to go, or we want to see it. And this is the letting go, and not waiting on something or someone to save us, because we are the saviors. This is where we learn and receive the energies, and the no's. The no's are going to lead us to the yeses. And through my nose, the shadow to light that I want to do has to be broken down into several different classes. That's what I received. And I'm like, no. And they're saying, yes. That's the yes. I got what I was saying. No, I got the yes. I got the yes. That's just not the way I want it. Where I want to do the study of the Celtic wheel. That means I will be doing the study of the Celtic wheel. The study of the Celtic wheel is going to be where we are going to have, and I already created the fucking books for them. So we're doing it. Creating these books on on the embolic, on May Day, and doing a ritual. So on those times, we're going to be having gatherings and doing those gatherings. The releasement ceremony is going to be on January 6th, January 6th, which is January 6th. Sorry. January 6th, and we're going to be doing the releasement of 2023. And I feel that that'll give people plenty of time to gather what they need to gather. And I will be talking about that more, about the releasement ceremony. And then the peak into 2024, which will be on December 30th. The peak into 2024 is taking a look and sitting down on the events and the highlights that are going to be unfolding for us during that year, and how to work with it, how to work with this unfolding of the energies for 2024, and learning that there's going to be a lot more no's of things, of what we want to do. And everything is extremely deep into a new identity that's being born. And that's with all of us. We're all stepping into a new identity, and a new identity that we've not done. And this identity is part of the transitioning of the energy, of us transitioning into a new way of being, of doing, of living. And transitioning as we are it's like, oh my gosh, we're doing it again. Well, we're doing it again in such a high elevation of energy that nobody on earth has ever done this before. And this is where we have, how it looks and feels, with Mercury being where he is in Sag and not liking it and out of bounds. That's why he went out of bounds. It's like he just said, fuck it, I'm going on a rave. That's what Mercury's doing. He's like, fuck you all, I'm going on a rave. I can't take this bullshit anymore. Everything is fucked. So, and he's not even retrograde yet. And with lovely Venus opposing, Chiron, looking at Chiron, and Chiron is, wanting the wounds and wanting to heal and wanting to allow these wounds to be exposed so they could be healed. And Venus is like, you know what? I just went through a retrograde, went through Virgo, and I just wanted to be home and put my feet up, and I just didn't want to do anything. I just wanted my glass of wine and hear this bullshit is all happening. And you mean I can't just sit and relax? I can't do it. I got to get up and I got to go. Yeah, you got to get up and you got to go. You got to change. So if you're used to sitting down and having a glass of wine, all of a sudden you can't sit down and have that glass of wine or cup of coffee or whatever it is, and it's saying to you, it's time to pull out to a new way of looking at things. And that what you are going to try and do with this energies that are coming in, and as we're going to be going into Sag this week, is that we're going to receive a lot of no's on the energies of where we think we should go, because we're trying to do the old way of doing it, and the old way doesn't work. So it's coming into a new way of doing the work. And the new way of part of it is showing up, not expecting answers, allowing for answers to just be, just allow those answers. A lot of things are plaguing your soul, but you got to let them go and learn to keep the moment to moment and see to see. You got to just allow for things to transition. It's like, doing things one day at a time, because that's all you can do. You can't push it to do more. If you're trying to do the more is just going to backfire. And this is where, when you learn to do it the moment to moment, and what is not allowing and what is not allowing to receive, define and take action differently. Sometimes we're wanting to receive and it's just not coming to the way that we want to receive it. or we're thinking this is the way I'm going to do it this way. This is, I have it all planned out. And they're saying, no, you got to do this different. You got to really step into where, taking the role of spiritual love of life coach means I got to take life in a different way. Take life in a different way than I've done it before and come out as the spiritual love of life coach. What does that look like? What does that feel like? And that looking and feeling like is totally different than just being the psychic medium. Psychic medium is a total different vibe. But being a spiritual love of life coach and an astrologer is taking things to another level. And it's helping others to go to another level within their lives. And that is part of what I feel with this energy coming in, and how, we're going to be, not over focusing on it all. And the guilt, the regrets, the worst enemies, those are your worst enemies. Oh, I should have done it this way. I could have done it this way. It's like, where I feel like, even with the passing of Rupert, that, yeah, there's a lot of, guilt and regrets. I hadn't seen my brother in 30 some years. Yeah, that's guilt, right? Because there's so many things happen in life that take you on another journey, because that wasn't supposed to be part of the journey, but you wanted it. But the universe, God, had different plans. God said, no, we're taking you on a different way. And this is a road for your brother to take, and this is a road for you to take. And the day that you meet up won't be on this earth plane. And that sometimes is another hard one. But I feel part of this energy is also showing us that, yeah, a lot of times with the realization of trying to work things out that are no's. And that's, I've been trying to work out things that are no's. Okay. When they told me I couldn't do markets, and I still went and did markets, and then everything came smashing down in front of my face. I'm like, okay, I get it. So when they were telling me that, no, you're not doing a 1-year program because 2024 won't let you do it. And I'm just like, okay, I get it. 2024 is not going to be a year that I could fully guarantee a 1-year program and commit to it, because 2024 is going to be a year that is going to be such a transitional year for us. To commit to something for a year is going to be extremely difficult for people to do, because there's going to be a lot of curveballs that are going to hit us that we can't control, that are coming, they, seem to be coming out of left field, or they're unexpected, because that's what happens with life. There's things that are unexpected, you're unaware of, and they happen. And this is where doing the smaller ones and the smaller gatherings throughout the year is going to allow for more of a transitioning time for people, and allowing for people to come for when they can commit. And so they are able to commit in a different way, So I'm saying that I do have my Black Friday sale, and I'm quite 30% off of all readings. So all my readings are at $126. And so that ends on Friday. And on Friday, in addition, we have on Black Friday, we're going to be doing the $10 mini readings live on YouTube and on Instagram. So if you are wanting to get your $10 reading, definitely let me know, and your name goes down on the list. And that's for the Black Friday, and it'll be at 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So in doing that, so doing those types of things, though, that's where my guidance is at this time, and allowing them to unfold at this time. I also, and I'm putting it out now for those in the Calgary area and part of my community, we are doing a potluck supper here at my home. And so we're going to be opening the door. Steve will be cooking because he loves to cook. So he'll be cooking, and that's going to be happening in And I did discuss it with him. Sometimes I don't discuss it. A Yuletide pot is on the 23rd of December. So a couple days before Christmas. Some people may not be around, but some people will be around. So you can definitely let me know. We'll have some good eats. It's a Saturday. You can come on in Saturday evening. Um, bring some food to share, and we'll definitely have. Steve will probably do a turkey stuffing and the mashed potatoes. So we'll definitely have food for people and stuff. So people can bring salads and buns and whatever, you know. And we'll have a celebration of the Yuletide, and bringing that celebration of the Yuletide and of the light, and bringing the light back into the darkness, and allowing ourselves to step into the new light that is being born. So we'll be doing that. So those types of celebrations, definitely. And I can see why I was getting so many no's, and why when Mars is hitting my Venus, and usually Mars Venus conjunction, but when Mars is in his home sign and Venus is there, and Venus is in detriment when she's in Scorpio, because she's like, oh, that's just too much. You're just too smothering me, baby. Don't give me the smothering. Can be very like standoffish. And then doing coming into my Mars in Sagittarius, that's where my Mars is, hitting my Mars, it's like, whoa, okay, what are we going to start doing? But we got to do it with a plan of faith and spirituality, because that's part of Sag too. So let's pull some cards, see what's going on with the energies. So my little son is coming over to see his dad in a half an hour or so, and then we'll go from there and see what can do. So tomorrow we're going to celebrate Steve's birthday, because that's when I get some money. So and have everybody over for. So if Cynthia's here, Cynthia can tell you what what usually is Caribbean people's favorite food. At least for Steve's side of the family, their favorite food is that they love to have, which is just an FYI, it's Chinese food. My husband loves Chinese food, so we'll be having Chinese food tomorrow night. 10 of Airs. So the 10 of Swords comes out. The 10 of Swords. All the swords are down. And they're in your back. Ah! So it's ending. It's an end. We're talking about chow mein. Yes, we are. We are definitely. So it's embracing the changes. See, when all the swords come down, it's saying that there's something new, but sometimes we still want to get up and do. We still want to get up and try and get up where, you're telling, stay down, it's all done. Don't need to get up anymore. But we're trying to maybe still get up. And the universe is saying, no, just saying flat out no, because there is an awakening happening. There is something that's transitioning. In comes the Hangman. The Hangman is saying, we're going to look at things differently. We're not going to look at things the same way you've looked at them before. And as we are starting to look at things, you thought that you're going to have this and you got that, or you wanted, it's all of these different ideas where you thought things were going to be, and it's just not. It's just not. And this is where, things can be at a standstill. Things can feel like it's not moving. You're not moving until you embrace the no's, until you embrace, yeah, okay, I'm ready. Things are going to stay, you're going to stay in sort of like a limbo type of energy. And then comes the ego. So this ego means, yeah, things, the no's are going to crumble things down. There's going to be, the ego is going to take it to the max, and it's going to say, I don't want to do this. I don't like to do this. And that's when things start to say, well, spirit goes, okay, oh, that's gone. That's gone. Oh, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this. Yep. And, and this is where, because the focus was on the wrong thing. The focus is on the wrong energies, essences than what you were supposed to be doing. And you were too stubborn. You just don't want to change it, or you're too scared. The fear is there. And this is where you got to face the fear. You can't stand away from the fear. You got to step into the fear and say, oh my God, and feel it, and feel that anxiety, and feel the overwhelmness, and feel it, and just put your hands on your heart and saying, Archangel Jophiel, lead me. Show me which way I need to go. I trust in you. I trust in the guidance of the higher selves. I trust in the guidance of my divine Lord and Lady, that they will guide me upon my earth walk, and I'll be okay. I'll be okay. And as I am okay, as I'm being led, you got to watch your thoughts. It's the 9 of Airs. So watch how you're thinking. Do your gratitudes. Step into gratitude. Step into where, I am so grateful that what? And stepping into that, right? And, as you step into that beauty and you step into that positivity, which it doesn't feel like a positive thing, but it is a positive thing. But you might not think it's a positive thing, but the universe is saying, hey, it's like when I go into the Akashic Records and I'm asking, they're like, why are you asking that? It's like, it's like almost like, why are you asking that? And they walk away because I want to know. Well, you already know the answer. Why are you asking? You already know the answer. So don't ask. Just do it. Do what you're supposed to be doing and stop being a dumbass. Gotta love my Akashic Record people, because they're just like, you stop being stop being a dumbass and just do it. And I'm just like, yeah, I know. So sending you guys out so much love. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you, and all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. Thank you so much for being a part of my community. Blessings out on this special day to my husband, Steve, and sending and showering him with so much love and joy and peace and tranquility within his life, and sending you all the same. Thank you all for being a part of my community, and blessings to you all. Bye-bye. Oh, we forgot the duck. Gotta leave with the duck. Gotta leave.